Beautiful people, if you're watching for this vlog for the first time, welcome. My name is Zaman. Today at my house I'm going to show you how to put up a handrail. Now this is something I've been putting off for a long time. Since I've done the reno, I just never got to it. Finally I'm going to put some handrail up. I'm going to show you what we're putting up. In my shop, what I have here, I've got some 2¼ inch hemlock handrail, which I've sanded it and stained it, and I also put down some couple of coats of clear coat satin finish. So this is my handrail of choice. Plenty of options out there, and I'm not gonna lie, even though this was hemlock, it's not even oak, I mean this stuff's pretty pricey, man. You know what I mean? Like, I was shocked when I got these pieces. That's an 8-foot piece and a 4-foot piece. Got 2 sections of steps where I'm gonna put this on, and it was an eye-opener. So just warning you. I also picked up these brackets. These are the brackets I'm going to put on. They're black brackets, and I'll show you how to measure the handrail. Now just keep in mind, before you do anything with handrails, you got to check your local building codes to see what the height requirements are. I'm going to be putting mine up at 36 inches. That is going to be right within the limits of my building codes, but you got to check in your area what works for you. So now, to figure out how high you got to put these brackets, you got to take into account your total height. I got 2¼ inch material, and this right here, if I put it on my square, as you can see right there, you're looking, that's around 3 inches there. If you can see that, I don't know if you can see that, it's roughly around 3 inches. That's the height. The other thing you got to do is take into account the height of the handrail. In this case, I've got, as you can see right there, 1.5 inches. So determine where these brackets are going to be going. It's pretty simple. So I've got 36 inch height, that's my finished height, minus the 3 inches for the bracket, minus 1.5 inches for the material. I need to mark a line at 31.5 inches. Now here's the thing, when you mark your line, you got to know where to mark it from. You got to mark it from this finished top tread here, and most people go up to the top. In this case I can in mine, but my recommendation is take your measurement from this one. Not the very last step, but the finished step just before the last step. Now, here's why. We know that this is a finished tread. On the floor could be some other material, could be carpet, whatever it is. So we know that this one is never going to change. It's known. It's the same thing on the top. Now, like I said, I'm lucky because I've got the same material on my floor and up there in the landing there. But if you're working on another house, it could be some other material. But we know that this last step here is always going to be the same. Now, if you took it from the top step and you had some height differences, like this was carpet below, that was 3/4 inch wood. I mean, you know, your railing, when you're looking at it, might be, you know, tilted this way and that way. But if you take it from that step and that second to last step, you know that you're going to be true on that, whatever that angle is going to be. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm going to go again off that known bottom tread, finished tread, which is never going to change. I'm going to go up 31.5 inches. I'm going to, you know, probably add just 1/8 to that, just so I have a little bit of wiggle room when I put the handrail on. So from the edge here, I'm going to go 31 5/8. Put a mark there. I'm going to do the same thing on that top step. Okay, so I've got my first location, top location set. You're probably wondering what I'm going to do to mark this. Again, this is a finished wall. Normally, if it's a different house, if, you know, wall hasn't been painted or it's been on primer, I would chalk a line with my string line, but I can't do that. So what I can do is maybe, you know, use some thumbtacks, run some string, or I can use my tape measure, get one of the kids to hold up that end, and I'll go to this end, and that's probably the most likely scenario, but you've got options there. The thing I'm going to do now is get the stud locations, which is really important. All right, so I got stud locations. I got 4 of them, which is fantastic. Now it's just a matter of, like I said, getting that string line in or whatever it is. bang in those brackets, and then I'll get the handrail up. The other thing you got to keep in mind too, usually some places, like my wall ends right here on that last step, and up there I've got a little bit of a landing. So when I measured out the railing, I knew I was going to have a dead stop here, and I'm going to carry over between 5 to 6 inches. That's totally up to you, but you do want a little bit. So just keep that in mind when you're installing your handrail. You might need to figure out how much you want to extend. And I just eyeballed it. I didn't measure. Like up there, I'm just going to roughly guess at 5 inches. And if I need to cut something off, I'll cut it off. Here's what that looks like. As you can see, thumbtack, string, all the way up to my top step here. So that's going to give me a layout of where the stringer is supposed to go and where I'm going to mount the bracket. So here's a stud. I just got to put a line there for one bracket, another line here for the other bracket, and we're good to go. This one I got extended further because the bracket's going to go over here, but you get the idea. The other thing to keep note too is these brackets, I'm going to space them out anywhere between 32 to 48 inches. So I'm going to use 4. I probably actually don't need 4, but I'm going to put 4 on because of the weight, and you know, it looks nice. So just keep that in mind. You do what's best for you, but typically it's 32 to 40 inches depending on, you know, the size of your wall and stuff. All right, now the fun part begins. Let's see if this railing fits. Oh yeah, we're looking good. I didn't put that top bracket on yet because I don't know where it was going. Because where the stud is, it's too far. So I'll put that in last, and I'll just use like a drywall plug. It'll be all right. It'll hold the weight because I got these 3 in a stud. So it sucks, but it is what it is. So I'm just gonna quickly mount this, and then I'll worry about that other bracket. There it is, all mocked up. Looks pretty good. I've tightened this bracket, the first one, and the one second from last. Put it in with these clamps. I'm just going to screw this one, that one, so it's nice and snug, and then I'll adjust the other 2 brackets, and this is a done deal, man. So the other thing you got to keep a note too, from the wall, is also a code. I'm back 1.5 inches, so that's really important too, that you look at that gap, because you know you got to have it nice and snug. You don't want to be smacking your hand on the wall, so keep that in mind too. Also, another thing, sight down. Make sure it's nice and straight. Mine looks good. I did have to kind of adjust it here, and I clamped it. That's pretty much all she wrote. All done. Nice. Strong. That ain't going anywhere. It sucks I didn't have anything to mount to up there, but it's all good. It's not going to go anywhere because these 3 in studs. Super happy with that. Well, it's not too hard to do. Just got to plan it out and get it done. So there you go. How to install a handrail. I didn't do the video of staining and you know, preparing this. Maybe I should have. It is on my socials on Instagram and my Snapchat. I've done some TikToks on it too. I'll leave a link in the description. You can see all that. But yeah, man, thanks for hanging out with me. But I want to say, if you watch this vlog for the very first time, you know, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to part of the family. If you want to see more videos just like this, please click on the eye in the sky. Of course, my peace, be you, stay optimistic, enjoy the rest of your day. Here's a big high five from me to all of you.